All right, we did this a couple years ago. Let's do this again. I did my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough.
You're an idiot. Welcome to episode 219 of Nerdery and Murdering.
Big 219, I'm Zig with your nerdery.
And I'm Geoffrey with your Murdering. Welcome to another week, the highs and lows, the ups and downs, the good and the bad, and the nerd and the murd. So, episode 219. So, I know this throws some people off that we record so far in advance, but this
Yeah, it's like
episode,
August.
well, yeah, it's August for us. This episode actually comes out October 19th for everybody else. By October 19th down here, I guess we'll probably be down to 95. Stays hot here for a long time. It's been so hot. It's been brutal outside. Chuck and I, what did we play? We played golf Friday and Saturday. We played golf Friday afternoon and Saturday morning.
I would have went with the mornings, man. That afternoon would have been a
Well, we
killer.
did. Saturday morning we did, but I mean Friday, we work, so
Yeah.
we can't go till after work. So I mean we started golf at 4:10 in the afternoon, and it was feels like temperature was a blazing 108.
hmm
Yesterday morning, by the time we finished, it was a blazing 107.
Oh,
Uh,
God. So you saved 1 degree.
yeah, we basically saved
Damn
one
it.
degree. But I mean, it was so funny because as we were getting towards the end, I told him, I said, man, I could go home and jump in my pool and probably not get any wetter than I am right now. Just so freaking hot. I'm ready for it to start cooling off. The weatherman the other day said that we hit the hottest part of the year on Friday, and now everything goes downhill. So maybe we'll start losing a degree or two here and there.
Yay. Yeah, well, I was saying something to somebody on the internet from who isn't from, like here. It's
Hmm.
like it's like, dude, now that I've been in Texas for like 4 or 5 years, I now understand the difference between 97 degrees and 100 degrees. It's like, oh yeah,
Yes.
97 is not bad.
Yeah, yeah. I mean well, and especially down here when the humidity, the feels like temperature is generally 10 to 12 degrees higher
Yeah.
than the actual temperature because of the humidity, and it's brutal.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it to start cooling off, but yeah, sorry, I keep rubbing my face. I'm a little burnt from yesterday, which is surprising as tan as I am with my farmer's tan. I mean, it's so silly that I have one hand that's tan and one hand that's not because of where I'm wearing my golf glove. Where down at you go down to my ankles and there's white, and then a
Oh, where your
line
socks are?
and then a line where the tan starts goes up. It's stupid looking. Um, I kept my background up. Those of you who are watching for Prime numbers, update on the book. As I said, this episode's out October 19th. I fully expect the book will be out by the time this episode is released because um my publisher has finished editing and they are now formatting it for final book form, and we are waiting on the copyright. So the copyright from the Fed takes anywhere from 30 to 90 days is what they said. And I filed for my copyright back in July. So I'm approaching the 30-day mark. Figure if it's 90, that takes us into October. So, or no,
Hey,
September. Yeah, no, October. Yeah. So fingers crossed when this episode comes out, you can find the book out on Amazon Prime numbers.
Prime numbers on Prime.
Yeah. Hey, there you go. I teased Zig earlier this week that I had a big announcement,
Mhm.
and I know he's been excitingly looking forward to it, but I'm gonna let you down because it's probably more exciting to me than you.
It's exciting's a strong word, but I have been curious.
This year marks the 45th anniversary of Xanadu.
Oh God.
They are doing a celebration in LA for this called Xanadays. They're doing a tribute
God.
concert and a screening of the movie, which is sold out.
My
Um,
God, this is the equivalent of khaki pants.
well, and the movie is being released in 4K on DVD. I mean, I don't know why they didn't wait till 50th anniversary, but I was just excited because I saw it the other day. They're doing the 45th anniversary of Xanadu, and I'm so excited. I wish I could go to Xanadays. I wish I could.
Well, you should at least get the Blu-ray. That way you've got. Oh wait, you've already got a Blu-ray of it.
I do. I don't have a Blu-ray player, however, so I don't know if maybe they'll do a streaming version of the 4K.
Well,
I'd
maybe.
I'd like to own it, but I already own it on Prime. But maybe they'll do a streaming version in 4K. But yeah, it was big, exciting news for me. So sorry to let you down with my super exciting news.
Yay!
Hey, it's got a cult following, man. It really
Yeah, no,
does.
no, no. I'm with you. I'm all about the cult following.
There's people like me who absolutely love this movie to this day, as
Yes.
even knowing that it's not that good. I know it's not, but
Well, the
neither.
music's good. The
But
music's good.
well, right. But let's look at another one. Rocky Horror's not that good either.
No, no, not
If
really.
you
No,
watch it, if you watch it stand alone,
it's not that good.
if you have no idea what the movie is really supposed to be, and you watch it as a standalone movie, you're going to look at it and go, "What the fuck just happened? What was
Yeah,
this?"
this is a weird little musical.
And that's another one. The music is great.
Yeah.
Rocky Horror, you have to experience it live.
Hmm.
You have to experience it with a quote live cast, which it's not a live cast, it's people acting out the movie in front of the movie.
And people
Um,
yelling.
and people yelling and getting into it, and there's things you do throughout the movie, and it's so much fun. And that's a cult following. People understand that Xanadu falls into this category of this cult following, that the movie is just not that great. The music is phenomenal, but you've got people who love this movie to this day. Um, and I'm one of those. So 45th anniversary of Xanadu.
Nice.
Props out to the late Olivia Newton-John.
What was the
Uh,
what was the other one? You said you
the
had two.
two big announcements.
Yeah.
Oh, the book update. Sorry,
Oh, yeah.
the book update. With
Okay.
fingers crossed by the time this releases on 10/19, we'll be out. So
Sweet. Congrats.
thanks. I got nothing else. You got anything? Are you ready to step on into it?
Kind of interested in getting into this because, yeah.
So, okay, go ahead and introduce it, and then I have a little opening salvo.
Okay. Well, we did this about 2, 3 years ago, and I was like, oh man, maybe we need to do another Smushing episode. And it was basically like, this is the music you put on when you're with your lady.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to hear. That's the part I wanted to hear. I'm not sure that I really understand this category of music. I thought I did, but then I got your list and I'm not sure I fully embraced the concept because as we get into it, I'll talk about it more. But some of these I just didn't see in this category. Um, so okay, I wanted to make sure I understood the concept.
yeah,
I have
yeah,
my
yeah.
notes, so
This is Smushing music.
carry on.
The first one is Just Once. Technically, this song is by Quincy Jones, but it's a James Ingram song. Um, it was James Ingram was an American singer-songwriter, record producer. He was a two-time Grammy Award winner and two-time Academy Award nominee for Best Original Song. After beginning his career in 1973, Ingram charted 8 top 40 hits in the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 charts from the early 1980s to the early 1990s, as well as 13 top 40 hits on the Hot R&B hip hop song charts. In addition, he charted 20 hits on the adult contemporary charts, including 2 number 1s. He's 2 number 1 singles on the Hot 100s. The first, a duet with fellow R&B artist Patty Austin with "Baby Come to Me" in 1982. And then in 1983, "I Don't Have the Heart," which became his second #1 in 1990. In between those, he also recorded "Somewhere Out There" with Linda Ronstadt for the American Tail movie, as well as did some stuff for Patti Smith. Just Once, though, is a 1981 single released from Quincy Jones's album "The Dude" on A&M Records. The song features James Ingram on vocals, and he did his singing. He was nominated for Best Male Pop Vocal Performance at the '82 Grammys. Now, in 1981, James Ingram was just like a background singer, like he was a hired gun, like a studio musician, but a studio singer. And Quincy Jones convinced him to sing the lead on this, and that's basically what broke his career open. Was this song? Played at the end of Last American Virgin in a very, very famous scene. I think I've put part of it into our playlist. Oh, something else I figured out this week, kids. Stop right now. Pause this movie. Pause this video. Go to our playlist. This video is in the bottom of our playlist. You can pick it up at the bottom of our playlist and pause it, go up to the top and listen to the music we're playing as we're going. It's the easiest way to listen to these that I found, which is why I've been putting it in the playlist. But I just want to get that out there first. If you guys need to do that, that way you know what we're talking about. What did you think about Just Once?
So I've never seen this movie. I'm
Last
familiar.
American Version?
Never seen it. I've known about it. I've known it existed. But it was funny when I pulled up the YouTube playlist and started watching. I was like, oh hey, that's Monique from Better Off Dead. And I was like, huh, maybe I need to
the
watch
original
it.
Karen.
I liked her in Better Off Dead. Maybe I need to give this a watch. Looks like a pretty traumatic movie from what I saw in the video.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun.
But
you can go see it, but you got to go to this weird Russian site to see it.
okay, out. For the song
I watched
itself,
it the other day. It was actually really good.
For the song itself, it's a really pretty song. James Ingram sings phenomenally in this song. I could see why this one was in the list. This is a very good song. And when I thought of smushing music, I was like, yeah, this one goes in. I could see
smush to this one.
Yeah, I could see that.
The next song in the list is Haunted by the Pogues. The Pogues are an English or Anglo-Irish Celtic punk band from King's Cross, London. They formed in 1982 with Shane MacGowan, Spider Stacy, and Jim Finer. Originally named Pogue Mahone, an anglicization of the Irish phrase Pogue Mathon, meaning kiss my ass. The band fused Irish traditional music with punk rock influences. Initially poorly received in traditional circles, they did come back to kind of revitalize the genre. So a lot of the Irish folk punk bands now point directly to them as their starting point, like the Flog and Molly and the Tossers and what's the one out of Boston?
Boston,
the big famous one.
Boston.
Boston is not an Irish folk punk band.
The
Dropkick Murphys. Thank you. Yeah. But they added James Fearnley and Kate O'Riordan for their second album, which was Rum, Sodomy, and the Lash, which they released in 1985, and then Poetry in Motion. Haunted was actually a single for the Sid and Nancy soundtrack.
Sorry, hang on. Did you say Rum, Sodomy?
And the Lash.
Fair enough. Carry on.
Their second album, which was produced by Elvis Costello, which is why this song has, Rum, Sodomy, and the Lash is the name of the album. Okay. Sounds like fun, right? If they're Irish...
No, it does not.
It is their Irish punk folk band, and it's perfect for them. Usually you get Shane MacGowan singing, but in this case they got Kate O'Riordan, and in recording this, Elvis Costello and Kate Riordan kind of fell in love, and they were together for like 15 years after this was over. But you could definitely feel that Elvis Costello sound on this song. But it is a 1986 single off of the Sid and Nancy soundtrack. It reached number 42 in the UK, originally sung by Kate O'Riordan. Shane MacGowan and Sinead O'Connor did re-record it in the early 90s for the Tooth by Sea soundtrack. And that's a decent recording. It is not nearly as haunted as Kate O'Riordan's voice is in this. And It's just uh this song is powerful, especially when you're, in between the sheets. What did you think about Haunted by the Pogues?
You only put this song in here because you like Sid and Nancy. That being said, it's a good song. I just didn't see this in the, and this is where I started getting confused. I was like, this is a good song. I just don't see it as that type of song. But it's just me.
Yeah, try it. Give it a shot. Turn this
Ah,
bad boy on when you're in the sack with the Chelsea. See
no,
if it doesn't help. It's that.
no, no, not this one. It's a good song, but no,
It's
no.
like it's got the exact same backbeat as "Be My Baby," which is also on this list.
We'll get to that one.
Um, the next song is "Back to Life" by Soul to Soul. They're a British music collective formed in London in 1988. They are best known for two major hits: 1989's UK number 5 and US number 11, "Keep on Moving," and its follow-up, the UK number 1 and US number 4, "Back to Life." They've won 2 Grammy Awards and have been nominated for 5 Brit Awards, twice for Best British Groups. Karen Molina Wheeler is a British songwriter, record producer, and musician. Born and raised in London, she performs various singing competitions. She was one of the founding members of Brown Sugar and female backing vocalist of Aphrodisiac. But she came to prominence as the main singer for Soul to Soul in this first album. Now, she kind of left them shortly after this. They made another album, which was not great, and then they made a third album when they got Karen back. But it's basically her vocals with this great backbeat and these recurring violin. I don't want to say pieces because it's just da 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 da. It's almost like they recorded them, but from what I understand, they actually play it with a violinist live. So it's amazing. What did you think about Back to Life?
So Chelsea loves this song. She really
Yeah,
does. It- this song gets on my nerves. I think this one was simply overplayed back
it
in the
was
day.
overplayed in 1989. This song was overplayed.
Yeah, and so I kind of got tired of it. It, it's in my playlist for golfing when I'm with
Mhm.
Chelsea. It is not in my playlist when I'm by myself. Because this song gets on my nerves. I understand the value behind the song. It's a really good song.
Mhm.
Um, but to me, a little too fast for
It's a
Smushing.
little too upbeat for Smushing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I could see that. I could see that. I was thinking that this one's a little fast, so the next song I had to slow it down a little bit. And the next song is Lucretia, My Reflection by the Sisters of Mercy, which we just talked about a few weeks ago. um, they're an English rock band formed in Leeds in 1980. After achieving early underground fame, the band experienced a commercial breakthrough in the mid 80s, sustaining their success until the early 1990s when they halted the release of new records in protest against the record company WEA. The group has released 3 original studio albums, First and Last and Always in 1985, the aforementioned Floodland, which this song is off of in 1987, and Vision Thing in 1990. Andrew Elridge and the drum machine known as the Dr. Avalanche are the only constant elements throughout Sisters of Mercy. I realize every time I say Andrew Elridge's name, I want to call him Palmer Elridge, and I think I've called him Palmer Elridge several times on the show. That is that's an old horror book.
Hmm.
And I get the two confused because of his music. Palmer and Andrew switch places in my brain, and I'm sorry about that. But the song was written by Andrew Elrich as a welcome to the Sisters of Mercy bassist, Patricia Morrison, who said she always struck him as a Lucretia Borgia type, and its lyrics concern the fall of an empire war and the consequent destruction of other aspects of life. What did you think about Lucretia, My Reflection?
I love this song as much as I do many songs on Floodland. I really like Sisters of Mercy.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Portland's a great album.
this this was this was definitely in
Down.
my head movie about what this category would be, or
Yeah,
my head version of what this
yeah.
category would be.
I feel the
Much better.
vampire down.
Yeah, much more better than Back to Life, or Haunted. I thought this one fit very, very, very well, and great song.
Oh, I have made another goth playlist too. So we're gonna do a third goth episode because it
Cool,
was requested by Geoffrey.
cool. That's true.
The next song is "Be My Baby" by Ronnie and the Ronettes. The Ronettes were an American girl group from Washington Heights, Manhattan, New York. The group consisted of the lead singer Veronica Bennett, later known as Ronnie Spector, her older sister Estelle Bennett, and their cousin Nedra Talley. They had sung together since they were teenagers, then known as the Darling Sisters. They signed to Colpix Records in '61, and they moved to Phil Spector's Phillies Records in March of 1963 and changed their name to the Ronettes. The Ronettes placed 9 songs in the Billboard Hot 100, 6 of which became top 40 hits. Among these songs would "Be My Baby," which was #2 on the Billboard pop charts in August of 1963. So this is an old one. Um, it was kept out of #1 in Canada by Sugar Shack's 6-1 run at #1, but it hit #2 in Canada as well. Um, what do you think about "Be My Baby" by Ronnie and the Ronettes? Again, it's got that backbeat that it's just
And that was the one I thought that this one was a little too fast paced for this. I think the only reason this song goes in is because it was in Dirty Dancing. Um,
I
it's a
hate
great
Dirty Dancing.
song. A lot of people do, but hey, I'm going to tell you, Dirty Dancing's another one of those cult following ones.
Yes.
Great music in it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Dirty
Well,
Dancing
it's
has some great music.
that period of time. Plus, it takes place at a
Resort.
yeah, but it's a specific type. It's a
It's something like the Hamptons.
yeah, but it's it's the ones in upstate New York, the old
Yeah,
well, Jewish resorts,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Camps, holiday camps.
Yeah, where families went for the summer.
Yeah.
They summered in these areas, which I find fascinating because
Yeah.
how did these people take 3 months off of work every year?
Yeah.
Or even 2.5 or whatever.
Yeah. Well, usually the dad would he'd actually take a couple weeks off, but he would because it was right outside of New York City,
Hmm.
he could go in and work a few days out of the week and then come back. But they were really
Gotcha.
cheap. They were cheap enough that middle class people could afford them. That's what's amazing about them. And they had everything. They had like ice skating rinks.
Yeah, and I said the Hamptons. That's not quite right because the Hamptons has a ton of money.
Yeah.
That camp was wasn't a
Poconos.
ton of money. Poconos,
Poconos.
yes,
Yeah.
that yeah. Um,
And again, back then they were only like 30 minutes outside of the city. So
but like I said, I think that would be the only reason this is in that list is because of that. It's a great song and all. I just didn't see this for this category. Too fast.
too fast.
Sorry. If I'm gonna be smushing, I ain't rushing it.
Well, sometimes you got to speed up and then slow down and then speed up and then slow down. I'm just saying.
I have so many comments that I'm not going to say on this show because I'm not going to get us an X rating. So move on.
When you're in the thing with the thing and then you flip it back up and then you do like that and then
I've moved on.
the next song is "Where Do We Go From Heaven" by the Mighty Mighty Lemon Drops. I think we may have even talked about this particular song. I know we've talked about the Mighty Lemon Drops before. They were originally called the Sherbert Monsters. The quartet first formed in the spring of 1985 in Wolverhampton in the Black Country. Paul Marsh, Dave Newton, and Tony Lynham had played together in a band called Active Restraints in '82, with Newton later leaving to become a founding member of the Wildflowers. Dave Newton and Tony Lynham were the principal songwriters for the group. Their sound can be best described as more psychedelia influenced post-punk, played with a ringing Rickenbacker guitar, and you really can't hear that Rickenbacker sound there. They drew comparisons to Echo and the Bunnymen and were also influenced by psychedelia. Laughter is the third studio album by the English rock band The Mighty Lemon Drops. It was released by Chrysalis and Sire over here in 1989. The album was the band's first to feature David Newton as a primary songwriter and co-writer, and bassist Linehan quit early during the recording sessions. The album contains the U.S. modern rock singles "In the Heart of Love" and "Where Do We Go From Heaven." Oh, that's right. We covered "Into the Heart of Love" before. I don't think we ever covered "Where Do We Go From Heaven." Um, Again, this is one of those songs that This is one of the songs that when I was in school, I thought was a huge hit that everybody listened to, and nobody listened to this band. I think I was the only one. I was like, oh, well, me and some of my friends, but it was like, you guys don't know the Mighty Lemon Drops? These guys are great. What are you talking about? So, sometimes indie music, actually, a lot of times, indie music did not cross over. And I
Oh
kind of wish
yeah.
it had, because to me, this is way better than some of the stuff I heard on the radio in 1989 and 1990. What do you think about Where Do We Go from Heaven?
I like this song a lot. I've given some listen to some Mighty Lemon Drops before, and I like their stuff. I this is a band I missed back in the day that
I
I wish
don't,
I
yeah,
had.
don't feel bad because a lot of people did. It's like, what, what? And there's even a
Yeah,
lot of indie people who don't remember these guys.
yeah, because I think their stuff is good, and I really like this song a lot. I mean, this one is really, really good, and this
Yeah.
this is another one. This one fit more into my head vision of this list.
I
This
like
one, this
Lucretia,
one
My
fits.
Reflection, and then this one right after it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is a good one. I like the Mighty Lemon Drops anyway. That whole album, Laughter, is really, really good. But it's kind of sad, which is why they named it Laughter. They get a lot of comparisons of, like, being Smiths ripoffs and stuff. I don't see it. Yes, they had the plink plink guitars, but they went in a different direction. You know, I love these guys. I kind of wish they were a little more well known in the States. Apparently, they were huge in England. So, the next song is "Sadness" by Enigma. I need to borrow the podback machine for just a second. If you knew a young lady in the 1990s uh, who collected shiny rocks and burned incense at her house, this was playing when you walked in. It's this is art, this was an alt girl or woman uh love call, basically. If you walked in and Sadness by Enigma was playing, you unless you screwed it up, you were probably gonna get lucky. I'm just saying. That's how the 90s were. It was awesome. Enigma is a German musical project founded in 1990 by Romanian German musician and producer Michael Cretu. Cretu had released several solo recordings, collaborating with various artists and producers, uh, produced albums for his then wife, German pop singer Sandra, before he conceived the idea of a new age world beat project. He recorded the first Enigma studio album, 1990 AD, with contributions from Dave Fairstein and Frank Peterson. The album remains Enigma's most successfully held by the international single, Sadness Part 1. This is Sadness Part 1 by Enigma, which sold 12 million units alone. It, it reached number one in 14 countries. It peaked at number 5 in the Billboard Hot 100. Um, if you go on TikTok and Facebook, occasionally you will see things like, in the 1990s, we were all really into Gregorian chants for about a year. This is
Oh yeah.
why, because there's Gregorian chants in it. But I think this was recorded to be a Smushing song. Um, because even though there's some weird religious overtones, if you speak French, you know what this song's about because he lays it out. Uh, she, it's dis-moi, fais-moi. If you know what that means, you, it's possess me and fuck me. It's basically what the lady is saying in a whisper tone, and I believe that was Sandra, his wife. But yeah, this was like this world beat collective, and they had some Gregorian chants, and there was these cool pipes and stuff over the background, almost like panpipes, and this really cool slow driving beat. This song was badass, and everybody was all over it in 1990. What did you think about Sadness Part 1 by Enigma?
I liked this song back in the day. I've always liked it.
Hmm.
It always strikes me as funny that we did have this Gregorian chant movement, and a Gregorian chant could be turned into a hit because it was a big hit.
Oh, huge.
Um, this song, honestly, this one could have been lumped in with the uptick of the new age music in the late
Yes.
80s and early 90s. Uh, Andres Vollenweider, Yanni,
Hmm.
uh, uh, uh,
Jan
David
Hammer.
Jan Hammer, David Sanborn, all of those.
Yeah.
This could have fit in with that list, but I could definitely see this one in this list for sure.
Yeah.
Great song, fits in the list.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Geoffrey can attest, and older heads can. If you do an alt, if you do an alt lady, I keep saying alt girl because that's what we called them back in the day. They were women, of course, full grown women. But if you went over to her apartment and this song was playing,
I'm so out on this comment. I'm so out on this comment. I'm so out on this comment.
you
Okay,
were
there you go.
probably in unless you said something really fucking stupid. um,
I distance myself so much from this comment.
the next song, which we have talked about because I think we talked about the album, is "Personal Jesus" by Depeche Mode. They're an English electronic music band formed in Basildon, Essex in 1980, originally formed with a lineup of Dave Gahan, Martin Gore, Andy Fletcher, and Vince Clarke. Um, Clarke was the primary songwriter, and then Depeche Mode released its debut album, Speak It Spell, in 1981, and then Clarke left. He formed Yazoo, and and then after that, Erasure. But between that, he actually started the Firm as well, but they didn't do too much. Alan Wilder was added as a keyboardist, and actually kind of, to me, the Martin Gore, Dave Gahan, uh, Andy Fletcher, and Alan Wilder is the best version of Depeche Mode because Alan Wilder brought production into those. They weren't just making noise, but he would take the noise and run it through the machines and make it sound better. Um, and this is off the 1990 album Violator, again, which we covered before. Uh, it was released as the lead single from Violator in 1989, and it reached number 13 in the UK singles charts. Uh, the single was the first to enter the US top 40 since People Are People did back in 1984 for Depeche Mode. It is considered one of the 500 greatest songs of all time by Rolling Stone, but you know how we feel about Rolling Stone. There's been several remixes of it and everything else, but yeah, this is one of those songs that just every song on that album is good. This one to me is the most smushable on that album. What do you think about Personal Jesus by
See,
Depeche? Well, I know you like the song.
I do. I love this song. It's a great song, and you're right. The album is great. I just don't see this one on the list. This one doesn't fit for me. As good of a song as it is, I just don't put it
Would you
in this
would you
category.
have would you have picked another album or another song off of Violator since we're talking?
Hold
Like
please.
Enjoy the Silence? Okay.
Enjoy the silence, maybe. That's not a bad. That's
World
not
in
a.
My Eyes. I'm trying to think of the
I'm. Hold on.
again, every
Violator.
album, every song on that album, there's only like 9, are incredible. They're all good.
Yes, yes, they absolutely all are. Let me. Policy of Truth. Waiting for Personal Jesus. Enjoy the. If I had to pick one off Violator, yeah, I'd probably enjoy the silence
Enjoy the
more.
Silence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Because it's a little slower.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's a weird staccato in this song.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that the guitar refrain. Mm, that's just hot. Yes, to me. All right. The next song in the list, Just Another Day by John Cicada. Um, if you know anyone born about 1993, they may exist because of the song. That's all I'm gonna say. This song was everywhere. Uh, John Francisco Cicada Ramirez, better known as John Cicada, is a Cuban-born American singer-songwriter, actor, record producer. He won 2 Grammy Awards and sold 15 million records, making him one of the best-selling Latin music artists. His music fuses funk, soul music, pop, and Latin percussions. Cicada has written songs for Gloria Estefan, Ricky Martin, and Jennifer Lopez. He toured with Lucretia Luciano Pavarotti, and recorded duets with Jim Brickman, Olivia Newton-John, and Frank Sinatra. Cicadas performed several times at a Capitol Fourth, an annual Independence Day concert for the United States, televised by PBS. Just Another Day, recorded for his debut studio album, John Cicada, in 1992. Cicada and Miguel Morjan wrote the song for SBK Records, released it as the album's lead single in March of 1992. The subject of the pop soul and Latin influenced ballad is the protagonist's deep desire to be with his love and his inability to find happiness or contentment without them. The music uses minor keys, piano melodies, and a dramatic vocal performance, and a catchy hook serves as its foundation. Just Another Day combines a seductive rhythmic cadence under Cicada's baritone to tenor vocal range that is enveloped by a simple song structure. And when they say he goes from baritone to tenor, yeah, he does it like that.
Mm-hmm.
and he hits the whole thing, and this dude sings the piss out of the song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and again, back in the 90s, everybody was playing this song. Everybody had this song played. Even indie people were playing this song because it's just that good. Oh my God. I would even almost consider this a power ballad, but there are no guitars in it. There's no power chords in it. It's all minor chords, just like the Take My Breath Away.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's what do you think about this one?
It's another song that I really liked in the day, and I mean this to me was kind of the top on this list. For this list, I would consider this the number one, the prime one to be in this list. I'd actually forgotten about the song, and I was really happy to hear it again. I was glad to see it in the list. This is, I mean, this definitely goes in the list. My only problem is when I first saw Just Another Day,
mm-hmm.
I went to Oingo Boingo. And so that's
a great song.
Which is a great song. And so I kept hearing that in my head, and then I pulled up the list and I heard John Scott. I'm like, oh yeah, God, I forgot this song. This song is great. I love this one. It's really good. He's such a great singer.
Yeah, it's one of those things you forget that you forget that song was around. But when we say it was everywhere, dude, it was everywhere.
Well, and that's and there's a great point behind that. I've talked about in many of these lists before that on certain songs that originally at one point I thought they were great, but they got overplayed and I got tired of them. Back to Life is one of those. This one is not, and it was played and played and played.
It was overplayed, but you didn't get sick of it.
No. So it's kind of weird how that goes with this one. So, but yeah, I love this song, 100% in this list.
Okay. And I think we are down to the last song in our list. Again, people, how I would listen to this, just saying, for this one or the next time, go to the playlist, drop down to the video of us talking, play it, and then pause when we get to the next song, listen to the song, and then go back and unpause the other video. It'll stop right where you left off. It is just the easiest way to follow these along, and it's kind of an enjoyable way to listen to them, at least in my humble opinion. The last song on our list is Endless Love by Lionel Richie and Diana Ross. It is a ballad. The singers declared their endless love for one another. It was covered by Luther Vandross, with R&B pop singer Mariah Carey, and also by country music singer Shania Twain.
Hang on, is that how you pronounce it? Vandross? That was Vandross.
Yeah, Luther Vandross. Did I say Vandross?
You said Vandross.
Vandross. Luther Vandross.
Okay, gotcha.
Or Vandross.
I'm here.
Okay, now I can't say it. Luther Vandross. Big Luther.
Yeah.
But I get for writing them down. I ought to write everything down phonetically. Ross and Richie recorded the song for Motown. It was used as the theme for Franco Zeffirelli's film adaptation of Scott Spencer's novel, Endless Love. As the character Susan sings the song during the course of the movie. Produced by Richie and arranged by Gene Page. It was released as a single from the film soundtrack in 1981. Again, this is another one of those songs that was everywhere. The song became the second biggest selling single of the year. Uh, it only got beat out by Kim Carnes' Betty Davis Eyes, which was also a huge hit.
I'm going to pause there. Have you seen this big controversy that's going on with Betty Davis Eyes and JoJo Siwa?
JoJo
Siwa?
Siwa. Yeah,
I don't know.
Lorelai was really into JoJo Siwa back like 5 or 6 years ago.
Well, so she has covered Betty Davis Eyes, and
Okay,
it just released. Um,
she's got kind of a grazzly voice for a teen star.
Listen to it. Listen to it.
Okay.
I don't think it's that bad. And there, oh, excuse me, there's a lot of people that are just slamming her on this.
Well, I mean, uh, Kim Carnes, she had a real raspy voice when she
Mhm.
sang, and honestly, that's what makes it great. Part of the reason she had a raspy voice is because she blew it out. Um, like in the 70s, like 10 years before she made the song, and then she discovered she actually likes singing raspy.
Well, and I had never heard of JoJo Siwa, whatever.
Siwa,
Siwa.
JoJo Siwa.
I'd never heard of her before this. This just started popping up in my
I think
Facebook
she's like
videos.
Australian/American.
Maybe.
But she was huge. I mean, we had like bed sheets at one time
Well,
with the kid's face on it.
take a listen when we're done recording.
Okay.
I don't think it's that bad, but there's a lot of people that are up in arms about this. And anyway, I derailed.
Why? Yeah,
I don't
why?
know.
It's a goofy song.
I don't know.
I mean, goofy. It was a good one. It's although it's kind of an adult portion, that song, if you listen to the lyrics, and she's not, a grown woman yet. JoJo Siwa, I don't think. I think she's still like a teenager. Maybe that's what it is.
I'll find out.
Um, where was I?
We were on Endless Love. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
We reached number 7 in the United Kingdom. It also became the most successful duet of the rock era, surpassing the Everly Brothers in 1957 with "Wake Up Little Susie." And both songs spent a month on the chart, with "Endless Love" eclipsing Everly's hit. Record World called it a super ballad that is overflowing with drama and tenderness. The record became the best-selling single of Ross's career, becoming her sixth and final number one single on the Billboard Hot 100 as a solo artist. What can I say about this song, other than the notes? Again, this is another one that was everywhere in 1981. It's very sweet. It's very kind. It's very loving. Lionel Richie and Diana Ross sing the piss out of it. I'm about to say something real controversial. In my opinion, Diana Ross was too high in the song. She'd come down just a hair, and this song would be absolutely perfect. But I get why she did. That's what they were going for, and it was 1981. But other than that, that's the only critique I can say. It's a beautiful song. You could tell Lionel Richie writes great songs anyway. He's just one hell of a songwriter,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
especially love songs. What do you think about "Endless Love"?
So this song is a classic. This is a classic. However, if I was going to do a Lionel Richie smushing song,
Mm-hmm.
I would have put "Hello" in here instead.
I actually debated that point.
Yeah, because here's my problem with this song. I don't see this as a smushing song as much as I see it as a memorial for somebody.
Yeah,
I see this one that is done as a memorial for a past loved one.
yeah. Someone who
So that
left or died.
so that's my only problem with the song. The song itself is beautiful. The song is a classic and it's great. I would have switched this out with "Hello."
Hello.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I can hear "Hello" in the list. Maybe I'll put "Hello" in the end of it. Yeah, you know what? What the hell? I got it pulled up. I'm gonna do it right now. I'm keeping "Endless Love," but I'm gonna head and put "Hello" in there.
It's your list. Go for it.
Yeah.
Jojo Siwa, by the way, just to take us back to where we were.
Yes.
She is
Like,
22 and she's
okay, so she is an
American.
adult now. Okay.
And she's American.
Well, I know they lived in Australia for a while.
Not sure on that.
Yeah, they lived in. Lorelai was obsessed with JoJo Siwa for about 5 years, or about 2 or 3 years. What do we have
She was
here?
on a British TV show.
God, man.
Yeah, she was on a Nickelodeon British TV show. Uh, Think anything about Australia, but yeah, no, she's an adult.
Okay, good, good, good. All right, there we go. It's been added. Thank you. Thank you. Please start through.
Sure,
And that about wraps it up for our 10 more smushing songs in our smushing list.
cool. I mean, overall, I think it's a good list. There's good songs in here. The only one that I don't like listening to over and over, or I don't like listening to now, is Back to Life because I think it was overplayed. But other than
It was
that,
overplayed. Yeah, I
yeah,
agree. It was overplayed.
I think the songs are great. I don't think all of them necessarily fit the category, but the songs themselves are great. I think there are some good ones for this category. Um, it- there might have been others I might have put in, but I'm sure we'll do this thing again.
Oh
And
yeah,
and maybe Hello is debuted in or is shown in the next one you do of this
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot
like
of
I said,
wishes. Hello. Yeah.
that's the one that I would put in instead. So because I that's a beautiful song, beautiful song. All right, great list.
Thank you.
Let me take a little sip of coffee here.
Woohoo! I'm gonna do the same.
Excuse me. With that, we'll step over to the murder side of the house.
Murder.
For today, I got my information off Mamma Mia, NBC News, BBC News, and Medium, and this is the Ice Cream Killer.
The ice cream killer.
Oh.
Boy, that's a nice title.
Well, we've talked about serial killers in the past, and they're uh, to be a serial killer, you have to have killed multiple people.
Yeah.
And when people think of serial killers, they're often thinking of cold, calculating monsters.
Yes.
We've talked about some in the past. Israel Keys, great example of a cold, calculating monster.
Yeah, that's a bad
Um,
dude.
oh yeah, Ted Bundy was another one of those.
Petey Gaskins was
Oh
just a
yes, absolutely.
crazy.
Pee Wee
Yeah,
Gaskins, yeah,
Pee Wee Gaskins.
we've covered him as well. But what if the serial killer looked like a quiet, well-dressed woman who served children gelato?
Gelato.
That's really what makes this story so chilling. This is about Estebaliz Carranza.
Estebaliz Carranza. Okay.
She didn't look like a murderer and she didn't act like a murderer. But behind the doors of her small ice cream parlor in Vienna, Austria, she was keeping a pretty terrifying secret. She didn't just kill once, she killed twice.
Ooh.
And instead of hiding the bodies in some forest or dumping them into a river or whatnot, she went full horror movie mode. She dismembered them, froze them in ice cream tubs, and buried them in her basement.
Wow.
So, Carranza was born in Mexico in 1978, but she grew up in Spain. Most people who knew her described her as intelligent and ambitious, but also kind of different.
Uh-huh.
She had a very strict upbringing and was deeply influenced by her overbearing father. Later in life, she'd say that her father never showed her affection and that she was raised to suppress her emotions. Eventually, she moved to Germany where she studied languages and she met her first husband, a German man named Holger Holt. From the outside, they looked like a normal couple, but behind closed doors, their relationship was falling apart. Holger reportedly became lazy, unemployed, and obsessed with video games. Carranza became resentful. She said he was emotionally distant, spent all day doing nothing, and showed no interest in their life together. But they still stayed together for a while, and this would be mistake number one. In 2008. She had had enough. She lured Holger into the basement of their ice cream shop under the pretense of talking. Once he was sitting down, she pulled out a 22 caliber pistol and shot him in the back of the head, but he did not die immediately. So she reloaded and shot him four more times.
Holy crap.
Once he was dead, she used a chainsaw to dismember his body. She put the pieces into plastic containers and then stored them in the freezers that she kept in the basement. She then went out and bought a new ice cream sandwich or a new ice cream machine to make the space look more legitimate in case anyone asked why she had so much refrigeration. And then
Uh-huh.
she cemented the containers into the floor and went back upstairs like nothing happened. going back to serving children. After she killed Holger, Carranza quickly moved on with another man, who was Manfred Hinterberger, who was an ice cream machine repairman. They became a couple, and before long, he moved in with her and helped her run the shop. But again, history would repeat itself. Carranza said that Manfred was controlling and jealous, that he constantly belittled her. She told friends she felt trapped again, just like her first husband. And then she started having an affair with another man. In 2010, she decided that Manfred had to go. And, she was perfectly sane, so she just said, "You need to go." Lies. No, that's not what happened. Once again, she lured him into the basement, same pistol, shot him 4 times, asked him for forgiveness, then dismembered his body with the chainsaw, placed the parts in containers, and added them to the growing crypt beneath the ice cream shop floor, all while serving ice cream to customers during the day.
Oh my God.
So she got away with it until just for another year, until 2011. Construction workers were doing repairs on the building, complained of a foul odor coming from the basement. So the police were called, at which point they found the concrete blocks, and then they found the containers, and then they found the human remains frozen and sealed in the tub. Carranza bailed at that point once the police were called. She fled the country. She took a 300-mile taxi drive through the Alps to Udine, Italy.
Mhm.
Authorities tracked her down there.
She's still in the EU, man.
Yes, she was. But authorities did track her down to Italy. That's where she had run off with her new boyfriend, the one she had been cheating on before the second murder.
Hunter Burger.
And then plot twist, she was pregnant.
Mhm.
The ice cream killer was now expecting a baby.
Mhm.
She was extradited back to Austria, where she confessed to everything. Her trial began in 2012, and all the details completely shocked the nation. She didn't deny the murders. In fact, she very calmly explained how she committed them step by step. And while she did this, her voice was flat, almost emotionless.
Wait a minute. I want to scroll back.
Mm-hmm.
This shocked the nation in 2012. Man, it
Sure.
must be awesome living in Austria. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean,
Nothing
okay.
shocks us anymore.
No,
over
but
here.
we're in 2025.
That's true.
I think what we're exposed to in 2025 would have shocked people in 2012.
Okay, that's fair.
Would have
That's fair. I was
absolutely
just thinking,
shocked people in
like,
2012.
damn, Austria must be nice. Was the first thought I thought.
I mean, let's roll back the podback machine just a little bit here.
Mhm.
When did I got to look this up? So, Serial. What year did that come out? Serial, the podcast Serial that I've talked about before.
Yeah, it was the
had,
one that actually got everybody into podcasting.
Well, and got everybody into true crime big time.
Yeah.
That came out in 2014.
Yeah.
So that was 2 years after this murder. And Serial shocked a lot of people. What everything happened from that, but that kicked off a genre.
Yeah.
I didn't get into Serial until it was Miranda's junior year of high school. So what am I figuring now? Is that 8 years ago? Something like that. So however many years ago, and this kind of information out there is all over the place now. And back in 2012, stuff like this would have shocked people.
Hey, that's
Would have
true.
absolutely shocked people. So I mean, it's fascinating when you think about it. We're now 13 years past 2012, and just think about all the stuff that's out today, because your true crime is everywhere. There are true crime documentaries coming out all the time now of episodes I've covered in the past.
Yes.
The Amy Lynn Bradley one just got released on Netflix not too very long ago.
Yeah, I have noticed that. I'll be coming across like, oh, hey, I know about that story. I remember that.
Right.
I'm like, oh, hey, we've already covered that.
There's two documentaries that I just saw just recently that I have on my list to research. Matter of fact, one of them is coming up. I'm in the middle of researching it now. But there's a couple documentaries about. But I've known about these particular crimes for many years, and found them interesting. And they're on my list
They're
of
on the
ones I was going to
list.
cover in the
It was like,
future.
yeah, I need to research this one, this one, this one.
Yeah.
And here's the
Um,
thing, kids. I will get an idea and throw it together and make my notes and list it out, and then just put it in a list. Geoffrey writes down a one he wants to cover, and then he researches two or three at a time and gets them done because he doesn't want to have more than two or three of these in his head at any given time. And I do not blame him.
right. Yeah. So. Zigzag's absolutely right. I do. It's generally about two or three of the, because um it's generally we record our episodes every 2 weeks. And we do,
Hmm.
and we generally do three episodes on a Sunday morning.
Sometimes we'll do
Um,
two if they're really long.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We've done one before because of just time constraints, but
Yeah.
so every 2 weeks, I have three true crime episodes I need to research. Now, I have a list of a ton more. And I check them off as I go because they're ones that I'm like, yep, I found this interesting. I want to talk about it. Yep, this one needs to get out there because I want people to hear about it, blah, 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 blah. Honestly, and I've talked about this in the show before, three in my head in a 2 week period is the most I can do. Because that's a lot. It's a lot of crap and a lot of darkness to keep in your head. As much as people may think that I'm just a very dark individual, I'm really not. I'm just strangely fascinated with this stuff. And I say strangely, true crime is actually not even wouldn't be considered a strange obsession these days. Um, but yeah, Zig will sometimes have episodes noted out weeks and weeks and weeks in advance.
Oh yeah.
Three every 2 weeks, best I can do. Best I can do. I have
But he
occasionally
does
had
have a
more.
list of things he's
Yes.
going to roll through.
Right.
It's just to peek behind the curtain of how we do this. But oh yeah, I'll note shit out for months. I think I've
Right.
noted out for 6 months now at this point.
But
Because
it,
I'll take a week off of work and I'll spend one day writing episodes.
right. But the point I was getting to in that originally is that there's so many true crime documentaries coming out, and we talked about where this kind of started and where this crime shocked the nation back in 2012. I can absolutely see that 13 years ago.
13 years ago, it freaking everybody out.
Yeah.
People cut up in an ice cream freezer.
Yes. Oh, and buried in cement under an ice cream freezer, where she is serving to children upstairs.
Oh yeah.
So, um, psychologists did examine her, and they described her as being narcissistic and having a borderline personality trait, and a dangerously manipulative nature. But she was also intelligent and articulate, which made her even more dangerous and chilling. Court psychiatrist Adelheid Kastner said there was a higher than average chance that Forenza would kill again. When she was in court, she appeared very put together. Some even said glamorous. She wore makeup, designer clothes, and smiled occasionally. People found it very hard to reconcile the image of this seemingly elegant woman with the brutality of what she had done. She told the court that both men had demeaned her, her
Hmm.
ex-husband by yelling at her and making fun of her poor German, and her lover by being unfaithful, which is interesting because she was having an affair too, but whatever.
Yeah.
Prosecutor Petra Fish, I'm not sorry, not Fish, Petra Frey, described the defendant as ice cold and a ticking time bomb. Rudolf Mayer, who unsuccessfully defended Austria's most notorious living criminal, Josef Fritzl, in 2009, said that the psychiatrist's report on Carranza showed that her danger to society could be reduced to zero with proper treatment. He warned the jury to not be influenced by negative portrayals in the Austrian media, which have had a field day with the story of the Hispanic immigrant and her many lovers. She
Hmm.
she was sentenced to life in prison, and she gave birth to her child while awaiting trial. Because of her mental health diagnosis and her high intelligence, she was sent to a special facility in Aston, Australia, which is often described as the luxury prison designed for the mentally ill but highly dangerous offenders. It's very modern and sleek and less harsh than a typical prison. Kind of think more of a hospital ward than a jail cell.
Hmm.
This caused major public outrage. People couldn't understand how someone who had committed such horrific crimes, she was very calculated. She dismembered them. She buried bodies beneath her ice cream parlor. How could she end
Hmm.
up in such a comfortable place?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not so much that it's comfortable; it's that they can study her there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and I agree with that. Absolutely, I agree
It's
with
just
that.
like we need to figure out what bit her, and we need to figure out where that happens, and make sure that doesn't happen to other people.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
that benefits all of society, not just in Austria, but everywhere. Because it's like, oh,
sure.
hey, especially if they stumble across the the secret in the sauce. Because a lot of people suffer abuse, suffer mental anguish,
Yep.
are bedwetters, are fit that McDonald triad, and get a traumatic brain injury in the same places, and they don't break bad. So there's got to be something else that we're missing. You know what I mean?
Bedwetting, setting fires, cruelty to animals.
Yes, bedwetting, setting fires, and cruelty to animals.
That's your McDonald triad for you. Reportedly, she does still get regular visits with her child, and she's now remarried to a fellow inmate she met in prison, which is interesting. And yeah, so she's now a married mother living behind bars.
Huh.
She's now in her mid 40s, still serving her life sentence in Austria. She was moved to an all-male facility as she was deemed too dangerous to be at a women's facility or women's facility. She was to be the first female prisoner to join the 91 other inmates in the facility, but another 13 women were set to join her. She has since written a memoir, given interviews, and has expressed remorse. She said in her book, My Two Lives, The True Story of the Ice Lady, which was co-written with journalist Martina Praywin. She said, I don't ask for understanding or for pardon. She said that she felt trapped by both men and could not think of another way out. She blamed herself for turning them into monsters who treated her badly. Her publisher, Bernhard Salomon, told the BBC that Carranza was not being paid for the book. She waived her right to a fee for the sake of the relatives. Many people, including the family of a
Yeah, but
victim,
some of that fee could go to the kid. I mean, the kid has to be raised by somebody, right?
maybe,
Yeah,
assumingly it is,
yeah.
assuming the child is being raised by somebody. Mo Most of the family of the victims don't believe her remorse. They think she's very cold, manipulative, capable of anything. And it's a little hard to disagree with that because she said that she felt trapped by both men and could not think of another way out. We've seen this before, and there have been cases of this before where people kill because they couldn't see a way out.
Hmm.
There is a way out. You leave, you get out,
Yeah.
you kick them out. And
She ended up
I'm
going to
not,
Italy. She didn't have any problems going to Italy.
no, she didn't.
She could have left before she killed anybody.
Well, it's hard to disagree that she's not capable of anything, and it's very easy to sit here and say just leave. Sometimes you're in a situation you just don't see a way out. You
That's true. That
just
is true.
you just you think you think leaving would do more harm to your life than staying. There's a book out there, a book for people who are trapped in bad relationships, and it's not saying abusive, but just in a relationship which is not good for them, maybe a relationship which is not a loving relationship, maybe one where you're just not compatible anymore,
Hmm.
um, but you just don't know how to get out, and it's called is it too hard to too hard to stay, too easy to stay, hard to leave. Oh, I'm gonna have to look up the book. I'm so sorry because it's I know it's out there. Too hard to too easy to let me look at that. I probably have it reversed. I can't find it. It's like Too Good to Leave, Too Bad to Stay. Maybe that's
Something
what it
like
is.
that. Yeah.
Something like that. But it's a book that's dedicated to that exact thing where somebody just doesn't see how they can leave. They don't see an out. They feel that they're trapped in that relationship for one way or the other. And again, I'm not necessarily talking about abuse, but an abuser, but it can be for abuse. It
Hmm.
can just be for a loveless relationship. But anyway, that's why that's where it's kind of hard because it's very easy to sit here and say just leave, but she just may have felt that she couldn't. But when you talk about is she really cold and manipulative, she didn't just kill in a fit of rage. She planned this, she
Hmm.
prepared this, and she
Hmm.
disposed of the bodies like it was a business operation. She
Yep.
went to work the very next day and sold ice cream, smiled at kids, laughed with customers, all while knowing there were dismembered corpses frozen just a few feet below. So, there's kind of a thing there where you kind of got to look. Yeah, she is
Is
pretty
it this
cold and
way or this
calculated.
way? Hey, you know what? It could be both.
Right, right. And overall, because she's called the ice cream killer, it's not just shocking because of the crimes. It's shocking because of the presentation of it. She didn't look like a monster. She didn't act like one, at least not till it was too late.
Yeah.
Um,
She's a
but
nice ice cream lady.
yeah, but beneath this sweet exterior was a woman capable of defying violence, calculated violence, ice cold violence, literally. Um,
Yeah.
but um, um, and the thing about it, when people found out the truth, they realized something that haunts every true crime lover out there. You really don't know what someone is hiding behind a smile.
Nope.
You just don't.
Nope.
But that's the story of the ice cream killer.
Well, thank you for that. That was actually quite fascinating.
I find all fascinating. I know everybody does it. I was just having this conversation with Chuck. Hello,
Mhm.
Chuck.
Hey, Chuck.
Yesterday, he was actually talking about the show. He was talking about the latest show that came out last week for us, and he
Power
said
balance.
Power Bounce, and he asked me. He goes just curious because I've never asked you this question. He goes, are there people that like one the or no? The first thing he asked, he said, why do you always come second? And I said, well, that's just how we set it up. There was no rhyme or reason. We didn't necessarily say, hey, Zig, you're going to be first and I'm going to be second, or we're going to keep the light first and the dark second. It was just kind of, here you go. This is what we should do. I don't know that there was ever any rhyme or reason behind why we decided that.
No, I think we
Um,
just all was like, oh, hey, let's do the nerdery first. Maybe because that's the name.
Maybe because that's the title. I don't know. But then he also asked, he goes, do you have listeners that can't listen to yours and only listen to the nerdery or vice versa? And I said, oh yeah, people have told me that directly.
Tons.
They're like,
Tons.
yeah, all kinds of people have told me, they're like, man, I really love,
Man, this is a
listening to
great true crime show. Sometimes I skip over your part. I'm like, that's
sure.
fine. As
Some
long
people
as you're
do.
listening, I don't care.
Some people do. And I've heard the opposite side of the equation. I've heard people say, man, I really love listening to stuff Zig talked about. It's really interesting. It's fun, or it gives me nostalgia, blah, blah, blah. But no offense. And it's funny when they say that. They say, no
Yeah,
offense. I can't listen to yours because it's too dark. And I'm like, I do not take offense at that.
no,
I
not at all.
understand this. And this is exactly what I talk about, where I can only do about 3 of these in a 2 week period because I can't keep more than this in my head because yeah, it's too dark even for me sometimes. Um, but yeah, I find these fascinating, and I find all of them fascinating. That's why I cover them. I cover them because I find them fascinating, or I think a victim's name needs to continue to be out there. A disappearance, someone that has disappeared, has never been found. I need their name out there. Um, a case that has gone cold, that is still unsolved. I want those to remain out there. So I've got a whole bunch of different reasons why I do this, but a big portion of it is the psychology of people who commit these crimes, the fascination behind cults, and the people that can get sucked into those. The strangeness of people that disappear off the planet and there's no
Oh yeah.
sign ever of
You
them
just
again.
just the
Yeah,
Kaiser Soze.
all of that stuff just fascinates me. But, dear listeners, if you are here listening at the end, I understand when you can't listen to all. I understand if you can't listen to mine. I understand if you can't listen to Zig. We love you all.
That's right.
Listen to what entertains you, because in the
That is
end,
right.
we are here to entertain you.
That is right. That is right. Same. You want to listen to him and not me? Fine. You want to listen to me and not him? That's fine too. However you want to roll it, brother.
I'm sure the people that have said this to me have probably expected my response to be, "Go fuck yourself." No,
No.
I understand, and it's cool. You listen to what you want to listen to, because in the end, we want to entertain you. That's the
That's right.
whole thing of this show. We've entertained ourselves for, well, that sounds really bad. Um,
We've entertained ourselves with this for years with this bullshit.
yes, for years, and like we talked about so many times before, it was our producer Will who got us to do this in the first place, just sitting
Hmm.
around and listening to us two idiots talk to each other and
Hmm.
thinking, man, you need to put this on a larger audience. You need to do a radio show, which was his first thing. And we're like, I want to do a podcast.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
but
because you
that's
can't say fuck on the radio.
probably can on Sirius on satellite.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hey, Sirius, if you want to sponsor us, here we are.
Yeah. Hi. Hi,
Um,
serious.
I am so shameless. I have no shame. Um, but yeah,
Oh,
please don't.
really? Are you sure? It's not like you don't have a book behind you.
Right. Here we go. Here we go. My shameless plug
I'm
for my book.
I'm sorry. Please continue.
Hey,
Uh,
those of you that do read the book, if it's out by now, which hopefully it is, do read the author's notes as well, because I do give a shameless plug for our podcast in there.
yes. Yes.
Um,
Yes. I'm in
gotta
the
do that.
book. I am in the book.
Zig is in the book. Hey, those of you that maybe haven't read the book or are going to dive into the book, and I actually cover this in the author's notes of the book. Um, there are real life people in that book. All five of the people besides myself that are in the book are all people I know.
Hmm.
They're all people that I gamed with in various games throughout the years, and had a blast, had a great time with, um, building worlds, imagining things. And I asked each one of them before I got in the book, "Hey, I'm going to do this. I want your permission, A, to use you, B, to use your character." Um, and everybody said, yeah, do this. I've taken some liberties with the characters. I try to get them as well onto the pages as I saw them, but realize I played with these people for so many years. I know their characters fairly well. Granted, mine, Primus, prime numbers, I know better than any of them, but I played with this group for so long with these characters. I felt I knew them well enough that I could do them justice, and most of them have agreed. And they're like I said, there's some liberties I have to take. Um, I had to reach out to one of the people this week, because I fully intend this to be a multi-book deal. I have at least three books in my head. And in one of the upcoming books, there's something that's going to happen with a character, and I'm teasing it here, that I had to reach out to this person and say, "Hey, this is going to happen to this character, and I want to make sure you're cool with that, because I don't want to piss you off." And they're like, no, this is perfect. That's exactly how that character would do." I'm like, great,
That's
great.
how that would play out.
That's great. So it's awesome. So yeah, I went the long route to say this is for entertainment. This is why we do it. We love to entertain. We've sat around tables for years talking about endless shit, and the subjects will just branch off and branch off and branch off, and it's so fascinating.
Yeah, that's honestly that is why this is not foreign to us for us to do nerd culture and then talk about a grisly murder.
Sure.
We've been
No.
doing this for years.
Yeah. Yeah. It-
Yeah, hey, just one topic and then let's talk about Dune. Oh, hey, did you hear about the dude that killed all those people with
Yes, yes.
tit steaks.
This is exactly how our table conversations would go. Somebody might bring up something that's in the news, and next thing you know, it's 30 minutes later, and we're now talking about uh, a game, a movie, a TV
Mhm.
show, because it's just branched off. It's like, oh, hey, did you hear blah 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 blah? And it's so funny. I would love at some point just to get our old group together, just to start a conversation and watch the different paths that it goes. It might actually be fascinating to record that at some point.
Yeah, just put a
Um,
camera and just record it.
because we laugh, we joke, we talk about various things, and that's where this show was born from, is that whole idea. But yeah, we do this to entertain. Don't think we're offended at all that you can listen to
Oh
one
God,
of
no.
us over the other. I
God
would
no.
love I would love to think that every single one of our listeners listen to both and go, fuck yeah. But I know it doesn't happen. And we're okay
No.
with that. At
Yeah,
the end
and
of the
you
day,
said that to Chuck, like, dude, Chuck, if you're not listening to me, I don't care.
right, right.
Just enjoy it.
At the end of the day, if you have enjoyed some portion of our show, regardless of where it is, we love you and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So please and thank you.
Please and thank you.
So with that, that will take us to the end of another recording week. You can find more information about us on nerderymurder.com, our website, our hub. That's where we have everything about our show, from links to pictures, to our YouTube playlist, which Zig so often update.
Yes, definitely listen to the YouTube playlist this time so you can see what we're talking about, because there's music and it's great.
Thank you for all your work on that.
Thank you.
You can also find the link to our merchandise page, or if you wish to show off your nerdery murdery fandom, please do consider something from there. You can also find the link to our Patreon if you wish to become a patron and donate to the costs that are associated with the show. Both that and the merchandise do go to keeping us on the air, our storage, our uploads, our website, everything like that. There are costs that are associated with the show. It's not cheap. It's not inexpensive. So we do appreciate each and every one of you.
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you. One thing you can do that's completely free is you can leave a 5-star review wherever you can. It helps us, helps others find our content that may be looking for the information that we put out there. We appreciate that as well. And last but not least, as always, because I know he's probably asleep by now, Chuck, if we woke you up, you can go to sleep now.
Good night, Chuck.
Good night, Chuck. With that,
I have been Zig with your nerdery.
and I'm Geoffrey with your murdery.
Cue the music.
Digital detectives chasing down a clue in the world of fiction that the headlines do. shadows, walking through both walls.